Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. Milan 1, Roma 1. Is it a golden point or are they two wasted points? The answer is very simple. I think we wasted points today. I don't think we... Look, I think it was a balanced game. I think it was a 50-50 game. I think I saw a lot of similarities with the Spurs game that we played in London, the way we approached the game, the way both teams approached today's game, very open, a lot of gaps, counter-attacks, fast transitions, very slow, coming back and tracking back in defense. So I saw a lot of similarities with that game. But if that game, I would have said that the point that we achieved was a golden point, today, unfortunately, I say that we wasted 2 points because the finishing today was absolutely abysmal. The finishing today was abysmal, number one. And number two, we said this in the match preview, this Milan side is terrible. This Milan side is very beatable. And if you didn't beat them today, I'm kind of like, you're never going to beat them. Because Fonseca will get sacked after this performance. Di Marzio basically confirmed it pre-match. He said that even if Milan don't lose today, it could be both. It could be Fonseca's last game. And I'm like, you know, today was a game that we had to win. Look, I mentioned this yesterday. I was not going to be happy with the point. I was not going to be happy with the draw. Again, it always depends on how you play a game and how you pull up in terms of the performance. And I don't think we played bad today. I think the performance was good. It was a brave performance, a courageous performance. We wanted to win the game. But unfortunately, if you don't match good finishing up front, you're never going to bury the chances and you're never going to get 3 points in these complicated games. So yes, it's a wasted chance. It really is. But I've got a lot of things to say. I want to speak about the approach. I want to speak about the players. I want to speak about Pellegrini. Absolutely terrible. His time has come to an end. He needs to leave in January for our benefit and for his benefit. I want to speak about Dybala. Absolute masterclass today. And I want to kind of... Yeah, speaking about the game, I want to kind of... I want to also ask a few questions and analyze something regarding our style of play, because I think it's interesting. It's a few games now that we've played like this, very open up, very fast transition football, very fluid, but also very, kind of very deconcentrated at the back. So yeah, we've got a lot of things to go through today. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If we can get 100 likes on this video, it would be great. And yeah, look, the first thing that I want to speak about is the approach to the game. I think this needs to be the approach in every single game. It's not going to be like this. It's not going to be like this because this team will not match two similar performances and put them together. You played great today and then next weekend you will probably play another bad game. So I already know and I'm already aware that this isn't our style of play. And what I want to say, what I wanted to speak about style of play regarding this game is this is not our style of play because we vary too much. I actually think we don't have a style of play. And look, part of it is due to the fact that we've changed 3 managers over the last 18 months, 12 months actually. That can't give you a style of play. If you go from Mourinho to De Rossi to Juric to Ranieri in the space of 12 months, you can't have a style of play, and it's normal for the players not to have required in them a proper style of play. So it's very normal that we play a game like this, then we play another game where we look absolute dead and we focus on the defense, and then we play another game where we're very brave up front and we create many chances. So, what I would say is this is the approach that I want to see in terms of, the approach to it, the attitude that you put into the game. I think this is ideal. Fighting on every ball. Leaving gaps is fine if you match it with creating chances, which of course you have to match up with burying the chances. You can play like this. This is kind of like Ange Ball. Today, similar to the Spurs game, we played very opened up. We played extremely. It was a very fun game to watch. But again, my question here is this style of play sustainable? Because I like to see it and it's fun, but is it sustainable? Milan also missed a lot of chances today. I'm not sure. I'm not that sure that if we had played against any other side today, with the amount of chances that we wasted, we would have gotten 1 point. Milan wasted a lot of chances as well. Milan are not living a very good moment similar to us. So it's normal, and at the end of the day, a draw perfectly defines the state of the two clubs. But for example, had you played against Atalanta today like this, you would have lost. You would have 100% lost. So what I'm trying to say here is, the approach needs to be this. Approaching the game like this, wanting to win, fighting on every ball. But you can't always play like this. And I know that we're not always going to play like this because this is not our style of play. We decided to play like this today because Milan's defense was like this. This is not who we are. This is not us. Because I don't think it's a sustainable style of play at all. I really don't. But I did like the performance. Again, I can like the performance not more than a certain extent because you didn't get the 3 points. And I'm disappointed that you didn't get the 3 points today because it's wasted points. You're 7 points from Milan. You're 7 points from Milan. It's a big gap. You're 7 points from Milan. I mean, quickly looking at the league table, just to put to practice the points that we achieved today to the league table. Many draws today, a lot of draws today. You remain 10th, 4 points from Udinese, 7 points from Milan, 8 points from Bologna, who've got 2 games in hand. So yeah, again, I look at the league table and it's a wasted chance. You could have closed the gap to 4 points with Milan. You could have pushed closer to that Conference League barrier, whether you like it or not. You could have. So I'm not happy. I saw positives, and I think that it wasn't a bad game. It wasn't a bad performance. I think if this game lasted another 15 minutes, we would have won this game. I was convinced that we were going to score a goal at the end, but then of course the time ran out. If this game extended 10 more minutes, we would have won this game. But yeah, look, not bad. Performance-wise, not bad, but result-wise is what you look at, and result-wise, it's not good because you had to win today, and you had to exploit their difficulties to get 3 points today. Right, moving on to... I want to speak about... Yeah, one thing today. In fact, no, let me just clear this out. Dybala, I'm going to say this. I've maybe been misunderstood in these past live streams. If I have got the guarantee that this is Paulo Dybala, and that Paulo Dybala plays like this the majority of games, I get Paulo Dybala, put a piece of paper in front of him, get a pen in his hand, and put ink on paper. But Dybala needs to be this, okay? For me to extend Dybala's contract, this is the Dybala. Dybala today played like Totti. Dybala today played phenomenally. He was carrying this team by himself, let alone the goal. The goal today, fantastic. And I'll give credit to Dovbyk because I asked this in the match preview yesterday. I want to see Dovbyk more active in the play-up. Great assist. Dybala, great shot. Brazil 1980s style of play, style of action, and great goal. Very good goal. But sticking on to Dovbyk, active on the play, yes. Did not bury the chances. Can't shoot with his right foot. And... again, it's not good enough because a striker needs to shoot with both his feet. At least try to shoot with both his feet. So yeah, Dovbyk today good, and that's what he needs to do. Participate, be more active, but he needs to bury the chances. Not all of them, of course. Not every striker buries every chance, but the at least needs to hit the target. He missed quite a few sit-ons today. One thing about Dovbyk, which I must add, by the way, There's one thing that I want to see Dovbyk more present in, which is kind of similar. I date back to Dzeko. I know it's not good to date back to Dzeko because Dzeko was an unreal striker in terms of class, I'd say, in terms of the way he presented himself to the pitch, chest up and everything. So I'm not trying to compare the two, but I do see similarities between the two. And there's one thing that Dzeko did perfectly, which was Dzeko's handwriting, which Dovbyk needs to do more of. Why was Dzeko so successful? Because Dzeko was never, always planted in front of the double pivot. There were and you remember this, if you've been sticking around, you'll remember this. There were games, or there were moments in a game where it was Dzeko who picked up the ball where the double pivot needs to pick it up, and the double pivot behind him actually playing in front of him. Getting, driving down, getting the ball, and be you who sets the play instead of the double pivot behind you who sets the play for you. And that's what I want to see more of Dovbyk. I don't always want to see Dovbyk in front of Dybala. I also want to see Dovbyk behind Dybala. To link up with Dybala, to get the ball, use his physique to get the ball and start the link up with him and the transition up. That's what I would say on Dovbyk. I want to go back on the players. There's one thing that I must say today, which, again, it's about the gaps that you left. You decided to play like this, and I'm not going to attack you. Everybody decides game plans, and it was a good game plan. I think it was a successful game plan if you could have buried the chances. But the defense in the first half, more than in the second half, Mancini, always too slow to get back in defense. Now, there's something that Mancini does, which he tries to copy Bastoni in, and I'm like, you're not Bastoni, you can't do it, because you're too slow. What he does is that whenever Milan, to kind of increase the press, Mancini kind of puts the press, advances up into the midfield to try and cluster the press. But then the players who are attacking are way faster than him, and this movement that he does, pushing himself forward, putting the press on the players to stop them transitioning the play, leaves a gap where Mancini is supposed to be. There were 3 chances in the first half that Milan had. They all started like this. This is something that Bastoni does. This is something that Bastoni does, and Bastoni does it perfectly. Mancini is not Bastoni. Mancini needs to stop doing it. It's okay to press the teams, but you need to be fast. You need to track back faster, mate. You can't press, advance up, and then have a walk around when you have to defend. You can't do that. You're a central defender. You're not an offensive, creative midfielder. You cannot allow yourself to walk tracking back in defense. So he either runs back or he doesn't do it anymore, because it's just not sustainable. Milan could have had 3 clean chances today, all because of that. Bella Righi, come stai? Tutto bene? Bella, dai, c'è partita carina, che ti devo dire. 1-1, ce lo teniamo stretto. Che ti devo dire? Ce lo teniamo stretto, sì. Right, moving on. So that's what I would say on Dybala, on Mancini. There was a quick comment on Pisilli. Somebody says, where is it? Somebody said Pisilli over Elsha was a bad choice. Younger players or too selfish. I think Pisilli in the first half, I agree, because he played in a more offensive position. But when Pisilli dropped down in the second half, in a more contained position, he played a very, 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 very good second half. Pisilli was one of my man of the matches in the second half. Again, people will look at the miss he had. Very egoistic. He had to pass that ball. He had to lay it to Salamakers, who could have probably scored. But again, I'm not going to focus on that. Pisilli had a very good second half. Contained Milan very well. Rangers is on incredible form, and he contained him really well. So yeah, I would say that. Again, the last player that I feel like we should speak about today, I don't even want to speak about him because we've spoken about him so much, and I'm kind of tired of speaking about him. I've already said how his time at Rome is over. His time at Rome is done. He needs to go for our sake, for his sake, for the players' sake, and for his family's sake as well. Because I'm speaking about Pellegrini. We can speak about him as much as you want. Again, he's been stripped of the captain armband basically because he never plays, and therefore he's not the captain anymore. But, you know, Pellegrini got subbed in today. And I'm not looking at the chance he missed, which is you can't miss those chances, especially with 2 minutes to go at the end of the game. It could have been a match point. I don't look at that chance. I look at the way he steps on the pitch, which it's just, it just can't continue like this. It just cannot continue like this. Pellegrini today got subbed on the pitch. He could not have been asked. He could not have been asked to play those 45 minutes today. He did not get one pass correct. He did not fight once. And I don't even think it's a level of toxicity. You know, people say clear him out. He's a bad ambience to the other players, to the younger players. He's toxic. And look, he can be toxic and whatever you want. It's not a question of being toxic or not. It's a question of caring or not. Pellegrini, this is clear. Ranieri obviously can't say this because he won't catch Pellegrini in 4K. And Ranieri respects Pellegrini. They've had moments together even ages ago. It's clear. It is absolutely clear. It's as clear as a mirror that Pellegrini has been told that he's going to be sold in January. It's clear. It's clear. Because if he hasn't been communicated that he leaves in January and he plays like this, then he needs to go. Even worse. Pellegrini has been told that he is the epicenter of the clear-out. It does not take a scientist to prove this to you. It doesn't. It doesn't take a Harvard student, Oxford student. It doesn't. It just takes your eyes, look at his body language, look at the way he steps up on the pitch. He's been told, he's been communicated, in my opinion, the moment that they sacked De Rossi and all the tantrum that happened post De Rossi sacking, he has been clearly told that if it's not in January, he leaves in June. So, and he's also been told that he won't leave on a free. So they've kind of told him, right, I want to sell you in January. I've got no problem saying this to you. I might not have the time to sell you in January. If that's the case, I'll sell you in June. I advise you to find yourself a team because you're not leaving on a free. Pellegrini has been told this. I am not believing that he's not been told this. Why on earth, after this, so as a result of this, why on earth is he getting subbed in instead of Baldanzi? This is the thing that triggers me. This is the thing that irritates me more than triggers me. You've told the player that he'll leave. You've told the player that he's going to be the epicenter of the clear-out because you don't like his attitude, because you don't like his way of showing up, because you don't like his way of communicating, because you don't like his way of leadership, because you consider him a toxic element in the changing room. You have basically denigrated him, and yet you sub him in. I find it, and I'm not blaming Ranieri here. I mean, I am, kind of. I blame Pellegrini himself. I blame Pellegrini because it's just inexplicable that he gets subbed in like this. It's inexplicable. It's inexplicable. It can't be like this. You've got players on that bench. I look at Baldanzi. I even look at Soulé, who are dying to get a chance to prove themselves, to show Ranieri, to show the future manager of Roma, whenever he's watching this television, I can be a part of your project. And yet they get 0 minutes in a game where Pellegrini misses a chance that Baldanzi would have scored and Soulé would have scored. And they need to sit on the bench looking at a player who gets subbed in ahead of him, who's going to leave within 6 months at the latest, who gets subbed in and puts no spirit in a game. Again, I'm not blaming Pellegrini here because I've been saying this since De Rossi was sacked, since the Juric era. Pellegrini's time is gone. I think it doesn't take. I also don't think it takes Pellegrini's big brain to go, I want to prove myself here. I want to stay 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 here. I want to prove them all wrong. You've proved to us. We've stuck together for ages. We've won a trophy together. You've been our captain for ages. I won't forget what you did to me. I won't forget that incredible first year that you had with Jose. I won't forget what you contributed to. Now, it's time to part ways. It's time to part ways. So, in January, he's the first player which needs to leave. And before people will start attacking me and go, you're disrespecting our captain, you're disrespecting Pellegrini, I hope that he leaves also for himself. He is going to destroy his football career if he stays in Rome. Okay, he's going to destroy it. So it's also a level of maturity. It's a level of, do you care about your football career, or are you just here to, I want to stay in Rome because I'm a son of Rome? I love you. We've gone through a lot together. But now, let's peacefully end it. Instead of trying to force ourselves together in a toxic way. The fans don't like you. The fans want you out. The majority of the fans don't want you in. It's time to part ways. And I'm not gonna massively carry on with this Pellegrini rant because I've been saying this for months now. Well, who does everyone want as the new captaincy is a good question. I think it depends. I think the decision needs to be taken. The decision needs to be taken after your decision of a clear out. First of all, you decide who stays and who leaves, and then you decide a captain. From now until the end of the season, I'd give it to Mancini. But you know another thing. I would actually propose something which, again, not many people will agree on, and most people won't agree on because captain in Rome means Totti. You know, you look at the armband at Roma and you immediately link yourself to Totti and De Rossi. So I am aware that the majority of people, of you guys, will probably say no to this, but I actually think that a shared captaincy would not be bad. And what I mean, what a shared captaincy, I mean, one game Mancini has it, one game Dybala has it, one game El Shaarawy has it, and in other games Villar has it. Like this, not only would you avoid repeating the same mistake as Pellegrini and therefore focalizing all the pressure on one player, but you could, give him one based on the game. But the other thing that I would say is it gives a test of leadership and of responsibility to numerous players, which I think is needed because a lot of these players don't know what responsibility is. And a shared captaincy could give a taste of responsibility to kind of a few of them. And I don't think it's bad, especially after seasons like this one, when you've all been bad. Very few of you guys save yourselves. It's time for you to actually accept your balls and take responsibilities. I'm gonna give you the captain today. I'm gonna give you the captain armband today, and I'm gonna give you. It's probably not gonna happen, and it's just my idea. It's also because it would also avoid these stupid comparisons with Totti and De Rossi. It avoid this because you're like, there's not one captain, there's 4 captains and they rotate it. You know, when like under eights, when kids play football, you know, a lot of them want a captain armband, and the manager of the under eights team gives it to one kid one game, to kind of to give each of them, for a specific game, a taste of responsibility, leadership, and all of it. So that's what I would say. We need a new left winger and find out how we can help Dovbyk score more goals. I agree. I think we need to start transitioning to a more fast, maybe even a 4-3-3. De Rossi wanted to play a 4-3-3. Ranieri isn't a 4-3-3 manager, but it's now a few games that we've played very opened up, and I think these are the types of games that if you've got wingers, you can even quicker, like, win in a quicker way. You know. Right. I mean, there was a few things I want to say. I can't remember what I was. Yeah, I spoke about the style of play. I did mention how this is not a style of play and that you have to be careful on the game because sometimes it's not sustainable to play like this at all. Tammy didn't score. Yes. I saw Tammy do a few things that he never did at Roma, by the way. All in for UEFA Europa League and Coppa Italia. We can win Coppa and Europa League. Bit tough. We cannot beat teams like Inter right now. Yeah, no, the last thing which I'll say, speaking about the game, answering this question is, you won't go far if you don't fix this away record. This away record is something ridiculous. This away record is something absolutely ridiculous. The last time we won a game away from home, it was April. Like, it's ridiculous. You're not gonna go far if you can't play away from the Olimpico, because half the games in a season are outside of the Olimpico, and the fact that you literally cannot win one game outside of your own home, you won't go far. I mean, it's statistically proven. If you only win half of your games, which it's not even half, because you don't win all games at home, you're not gonna go far. So again, there are. I feel like there are so many little steps to build and to improve in order to, as I always say, get to the top. We're very down low still. We're very down low. This performance looked good to some people. And look, I think I will give credit. We played a good game. But I mean, this draw feels like a loss more than a win for me. It does. So I think it's early to say where we'll go this season, what we'll win this season, where we'll be in June. The league is unsavable. Still, Dybala only deciders should go all in Coppa and Europa. Chances wasted by Pellegrini, Pizzilli and Dovbyk were beyond horrid. Dybala 10 out of 10 performance. Villar amazing as usual. Pizzilli too selfish and weak. Pellegrini with no enthusiasm. Paredes controlled the midfield well. Dovbyk plays like it's his first time. Yeah, they were just showing the first goal that they scored. It was too easy for them to get to get in our attack. It was way too easy to get to get in our defense, in their attack. It was way too easy. Our defense is shaky. Depends on the game as always this season, but yeah, it was way too easy for them. It was way too easy for us, which is ultimately why we've had an entertaining game. But we had to win, and yeah, I still think it's 2 wasted points rather than 1 grabbed golden point. It's a point that virtually does nothing to our league table. The way I'd sum it up, end of match reaction, is good game, but you go out of Milan basically unchangeable. You've changed nothing. You're in the same position as you were before the game, and you're probably going to be in the same position 10th for the next few games. But look, yeah, I'm not going to get there again. I'm not going to go through all the De Rossi rant again. It's a season that you wasted in September. It's a season that you chucked away in September. It's about saving it. It's about putting honor on it, and trying to go far in the rest of the 2 competitions. Bella Rigis, my super sticker. Yeah, right. I'll catch you soon. Derby next. Very big game. Very big game. I'm actually, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Cannot wait. We'll get there. I'm nervous for it. A derby is a derby, and we've got 1 week to prepare for it. Love you all. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and thanks to everybody for tuning in, for your comments. Yeah, if we can get 120 likes, it would be great. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're 30 subscribers away from 14k subs. It would be great if we can hit it very soon. And bye-bye. Good night. Forza Roma sempre. Simo.